Hey guys, my name is Maddie Counsil and I am a senior here at LHS. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about communicating properly with your teachers. So, some of the things we'll be discussing are communicating in person, communicating online, some friendly reminders and tips, as well as some do's and don'ts. We're going to start with in person communication with teachers. Think of this as having a one on one conversation with your teacher, or you and a group of students talking to your teacher, anything like that. All right, the number one rule when you're communicating with anyone is to be respectful. Okay, so here's some key things to remember for in person communication. You always want to wait your turn. Don't interrupt your teacher. Maybe they're working on something at their desk or helping another student. Always make sure the time is right and you are not interrupting them. When you are talking to your teacher, make sure you maintain eye contact. This lets them know that you understand what they are telling you. You always want to be clear and concise. Know what you want to talk to with your teacher and make sure you give them a little background knowledge. They have a lot going on and they might not realize what you are talking about if you say something very vague. So always provide those extra details for them. You also want to acknowledge what they are telling you, whether it's a nod, a yes, a no, stuff like that. Just let them know that you understand and hear what they are saying. Never be afraid to ask questions. Even if you think it's a silly question, they're always here for you and they're always willing to answer your questions. So don't be afraid to talk to them or even ask them questions. And you always want to thank them. You might not realize it, but your teachers do a lot for you. Let them know that you are thankful for all they do and that you appreciate them. All right, so here I have a chart of some do's and don'ts with in person communication. Always have a positive attitude when you are talking to your teachers. If you go up there and you're being rude and negative, they might not want to help you. They have other things they could be doing. So if you're not going to give them respect, they might not help you. You always want to be patient and wait your turn. Your teachers always are doing lots of things. Give them the time they need and then ask them when the time is appropriate and never interrupt them. If you have the chance, ask them how they're doing. Ask them how their weekend is. They are human too. They would love to have those nice conversations with you when the time is right, and it just shows that you care about them. As before, wait your turn. Another do is ask follow up questions if needed. If you don't understand what the teacher said the first time, it's better to ask them now than later. So always ask them those questions if you have them. When you do have the chance to talk to them, make sure you have good body language and eye contact. They are taking their time to talk to you, so always be respectful. Make sure you are paying attention to them. Never have your attention elsewhere. Don't worry about what other students in your class are doing. This is your time with your teacher, so make sure you are paying attention. Like before, you always want to thank them, let them know that you truly do appreciate them. Never use rude or inappropriate language when you are talking to them. That is just not acceptable, especially when you are talking to your teachers or anyone for that matter. And just a little thing I have here at the bottom is the more respect you give to others, the more respect you're going to receive. All right, we're going to switch our focus to communicating online with teachers. So think emails and things like that. Especially during this time when we are doing online learning, it's really important to have good email etiquette when you are communicating with your teachers. So you might ask, how do I create an email? Well, this picture right here shows the Gmail icon. You typically can find this in the middle of your screen at the bottom or by simply typing in Gmail in the Google search bar. Once you open up Gmail, you will see an option in the left corner that says compose. This is how you create an email. Once you click that, you will see a little area that says to. You always have to address your email to someone, so you would just type in your teacher's name or email address. And then when it is time to send it, you're going to click the blue send button to make sure it goes through. If you're not sure if it's sent, you can always go to the sent tab on the left side and you will see if the message went through. So, you might ask, what do I include in my email? This does look like a lot of things, but I promise it will make sense, especially after you give it a few tries. So, the first thing you want to do, like I just said, you always want to type in the teacher's name or their email so that it gets sent to them. If you put no one's name on there, you simply aren't going to be able to send the email. So make sure you type in the teacher's name that you are sending it to. If you don't know how to spell their name, just simply go to your Google Classroom and look how to spell their name or on the school's website. You also always want to create a subject, whether it is something like Quiz 3 question, help with assignment 5, B3 calc class, unit 1 Spanish test grade, anything like that. You want to summarize what you're going to be talking about, especially with this subject. That's the first thing the teachers are going to see. So if they know what you are talking about, it's going to be so much easier for them to quickly respond to you, and then their answer will be with you so much sooner. So always just use, you can look at these examples right here, just say like B3 assignment 2 or something like that, that just gives them a heads up about what you are asking them about. You always want to start your email with a hi or hello. You can always say like hi, Mrs. or Mr. Blank, something like that, just a nice warm welcoming to your email. I also personally like to ask them how they are doing. Once again, your teachers are always doing so many things for you. They are always here for you. So just showing them a little bit of appreciation, even if it's as simple as asking them how they are doing, they definitely will appreciate that. When you are talking about basically what you're emailing them about, you always want to give good background details. They teach tons of classes, so if you say something super vague like, I don't understand the assignment, they're most likely not going to know what you were talking about. So saying something like, in class yesterday, in our G2 class period, I didn't understand what you meant when you were talking about homework from so and so day. That way, by giving them a little bit of background information, they can think, oh, okay, now I know what you're talking about, and now I know how to answer your question. So make sure you're being very specific with your questions and giving that good background information. As always, you want to thank them so they know that you appreciate them and that you understand they work so hard to make your school day so much easier. And of course, at the end, sign it with your name, which what I mean by that is just type your name and always include your class period. They, most of the time, they're not going to remember, oh, so and so's in this class period. They teach so many classes, so if you just tell them that class period, they can easily go look up your assignment or go to your specific Google Classroom. All right, so right here I have a good sample email that you can read through. This will just give you some knowledge and some structure for when you are writing your next email. So if you want to pause this video and read this, that would be great. Now that you have read that sample email, we're just gonna talk a little bit about it. So what you notice is it did include a good subject, specifically talking about what assignment they needed help with, as well as a hello and asking their teacher how they are. Once again, this is just a super nice gesture. It then had a few specific questions with reference to the specific assignment. Like I said before, your teachers teach many classes, so by you telling them the specific assignment as well as a question that correlates with that, it's going to be so much easier for them to understand what you are talking about. For instance, in that email, I was talking about an essay. I then attached my essay by just clicking the little drive button, and it allowed me to link my essay right there. This is not always necessary. Most of the times you won't need to do this. I did it in this case because I was specifically asking my teacher to make comments on my essay, so it just would have made it so much easier for them to click on the link in the email and open up my essay. But like I said, this is not always necessary. It does just depend on what you are talking about. And then I included a thank you and, of course, my name and class period. To wrap things up, just know your teachers are always here for you. Never be afraid to reach out to them. They're here for you and they are always willing to help. And if you need anything from me, you have any questions, I am a senior at LHS and I can most likely answer some questions, especially from my experiences. So I included my email down there. Bye, guys. Have a good one.